Welcome to another edition of the Digicel Sports Show right here on Islandstats.com. I'm your host, Earl Baston, with Juggling Jay abroad. Well, we want to first congratulate Kaiwan Miners, who has been selected to represent Bermuda at the upcoming CAC Games for Equestrian. Also, Open Cricket got underway this weekend. We have interviews with members of the Bermuda Olympic Association and the BNAA, as well as Devar Whaley and others. But we'll get to all of that after this message from our sponsor.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber-to-the-home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber to the home.
It was released earlier this weekend that Kaiwan Miners will represent Bermuda in the sport of equestrian during the CAC Games. Miners has been riding for quite some time, and with a new horse, Just Ask Rick, they have emerged as the favorites to represent Bermuda, having qualified the spot. The Bermuda Equestrian Federation have confirmed that Miners will take the spot come July. Now on to local cricket. Over the weekend, we saw the 50-over league get underway. The defending champions, St. David's, got off to a good start, albeit a 2-wicket victory over Bailey's Bay. But let's get the rundown, starting with the Central County Cup competition that saw Tough Dogs defeat Western Stars. Tough Dogs have a hand on the Central County Cup after defeating the defending champions, Western Stars, by 3 wickets on Saturday at the Devonshire Recreation Club. Western Stars won the toss and decided to bat, and they were restricted to 226 for 9 after their 50 overs. Brian Hall was their top scorer with 46, while Justin Robinson was 41 not out when the inning came to a close. Jordan De Silva was the pick of the Tough Dogs bowlers with figures of 10 overs, 4 for 51. Derek Brinkman bowled 10 overs, 5 maidens, 2 for 18. In reply, Tough Dogs scored 232 for 7 after 40.3 overs. Brinkman was their top scorer with 68, while De Silva added 47. Seth Campbell, William White, and Neon Steed all grabbed 2 wickets each, with Steed returning figures of 3 overs, 2 for 25. The Bermuda Cricket Board's 50-over league got underway yesterday, where, in Premier Division play, Bailey's Bay won by 93 runs over Western Stars. Bailey's Bay were out for 157, with Western Stars bowled out for 64. At Lords and St. David's picked up a 2-wicket victory over Southampton Rangers. Southampton Rangers were out for 118, with St. David's scoring 119 for 8. At the Somerset Cricket Club, St. George's Cricket Club defeated the host by 47 runs. St. George's Cricket Club would score 332 for 6, with Somerset all out for 285. In First Division play, Somerset Bridge won by 4 wickets over PHC. PHC were all out for 209, with Somerset Bridge scoring 210 for 6. Warwick Workmen's won by 7 wickets over Willowcotts. Willowcotts were all out for 100, with Warwick Workmen scoring 103 for 3. Also this weekend, it was 4 days of swimming. The Validus National Swimming Championships took place at the National Sports Center. Let's get the roundup of the days of swimming. After 4 days of the Validus Bermuda National Swimming Championships, we now bring you the overall individual winners. Giada Dudley Pond won the 12 and under girls division with 3,083 points. Josephine Jordan was second with 3,043 points, and Maisha Sharif was third with 2,896 points. Harlan Watson Brown won the 12 and under boys division with 2,093 points. Giali Liguri was second with 1,926 points, and Finn Watson Brown was third with 1,838 points. Logan Watson Brown won the 13 and over girls division with 4,283 points. Skylar Paul was second with 3,853 points, and Taylor White was third with 3,648 points. Jesse Washington won the 13 and over boys division with 4,195 points. Brian Desmond was second with 3,802 points, and Sam Williamson was third with 3,239 points. Matthew Oliveira competed in a 3-day, 4-stage junior cycling race in Belgium. Oliveira and his Hot Tubes teammates continue competing in the Promo 37E International Junior Cycling Race in Belgium. Day 2 saw 2 stages take place. The second stage was the individual time trial that covered some 12.2 kilometers. Oliveira finished 58th, clocking a time of 16:07.4. The afternoon saw the competitors go right into a ride and line 102.8 kilometer stage race. Oliveira would finish 70th with a time of 2:26:39. After 3 stages, Oliveira stands in 56th with an overall time of 5 hours, 18 minutes and 26 seconds. He is 1 minute and 9 seconds behind the overall leader, Van Welder, who has a time of 5 hours, 17 minutes and 17 seconds. Well, the 2018 Flagpole to Flagpole race took place on Sunday with a familiar winner, but as a crew. The 2018 Comic Class Sailing Flagpole to Flagpole race took place yesterday. Heath Fogo sailing Kitty Hawk along with crew Stephen Dickinson led from start to finish to claim the 2018 title. Dale Brinkman and Kean Webb finished second, with Gledman Lambert and his crew Stephen Mabry finishing in third.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber-to-the-home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber to the home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you'll get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber to the home network.
Not to be outdone is the Junior Classic race on Bermuda Day. This year marks 20 years of sponsorship by Dennis Lister's company. Fast approaching is the Bermuda Day Junior Classic Road Race 2018. But over the years, your company has been the sponsor of this event. How long has it been, and why did you feel it was important to be a part of the Junior Classic?
Well, this year's race will actually be the 20th race. It's in its 20th anniversary race this year, and we initially got involved out of our concern as a company to wanted to give back to the community. What could we do to do something that be impactful in the community? And between the West End Athletic Club and Mr. Ed Ball, came to us and said, we have an idea. And we all started talking, and out of that idea grew the race. And it's amazing that we're now in our 20th year. It seems like it's just flown by. And through that time, we have had some outstanding runners come through, meaning a lot of the runners who have gone on to participate in the senior races, a lot of the junior runners who have gone on and made names in other areas of track and distance running have come through the junior races. So I always feel good when I hear some of those names pop up here and there and say, they ran in our race, or they won our race, they participated in our race. And so it's interesting that we're able to contribute in this way.
Right. Over the 20 years, well, first of all, congratulations, 20 years. But over the 20 years, how has this race evolved? Because we've seen it come to where it is at now, and we have a lot of juniors running.
Well, in the initial stages, when we first set up the race, the overall race committee for the senior race was a little skeptical, and they only allowed us 50 runners. And they were concerned about whether we had enough of a window for them to finish before the senior races started. So we had a invitational race, and it stayed invitational throughout the years, but our numbers increased. So we went from 50 up to 75. In the last few years, we've been running 100 races every year, 100 runners. And this year we've made a switch. This year it's actually an open race rather than an invitation race, because so many people have wanted to participate, and we've had pressure back and forth to try and see, can our child, run? And we've always been invitational because the Athletic Association knew runners who were sort of in the time frames that we were sort of given from the senior race. But this year we said, well, let's try it, because we've had so many requests from opening up. So it's an open race this year rather than invitational, and we'll see what the numbers bring.
Yeah. Well, it's one thing because it allows the kids to be center stage.
Yes.
Down Front Street.
Yes.
Doing the final 2 miles of the
final 2 miles, correct.
But it must be over the years, and you've already said about the fact that you've seen people that have won the junior race go on to be, to run the adult race and do other things in track and field. But just having these kids the opportunity to be in the limelight for that short period of time,
Yeah.
for your company, it must be a special thing.
Yeah, we look forward. It's one of the highlights of our annual calendar. We sponsor some other things in between, but this is the highlight for us to make sure this goes off right every year. And it's just exciting to be there and watch the young people get all geared up for it. And as somebody who has run the senior race before, I have a few of them under my belt way back in the day. And in fact, it was after I ran a few, and then I found some injury to myself and couldn't run anymore when I got involved in it. It just fitted at the right time because I still liked being around the sport. I like being around the day, and not being able to participate anymore said, perfect. Well, right now, and let's do this. So it keeps me involved with the event, and I tell everybody, 24th of May hasn't been a holiday for me for a long time, or Bermuda Day hasn't been a holiday for a long time, because for me it's being involved. I'm home. I leave home, 6:30, 7 o'clock every day, every morning. Come down here and make sure we're all organized for the race, and then I hang around and follow the race and the other activities. So it's community service day for us. A little relaxation, but we've got to make sure the race is done right first.
Anything special for this year?
Well, this year it's
other than the open.
The fact that it's open, we don't know. We may get a surprise result.
Right.
And I think back to probably 4 years ago now, we had a young Miss Tuzo, Selena Tuzo. She came in as an unknown, basically, and that first year she ran the youngest in that age, and youngest in all the age groups, and came second. The next year, she won it for the next 3 years, as one of the younger competitors, beating the girls in the high age group. So we were quite impressed with her performances, But we've seen that over the years. We've seen the Tyler Butterfields. We've seen the Withers girls run. We've seen the Sakai Scradish run. Run. We've seen the Tyler Butterfields. We've seen the Smith. Can't remember his name. Tyler Smith.
Yeah.
We've seen. Well, the interesting part about the race is that for the man particularly, the winning time was done in the second year of the race.
Right.
And it was done by Henry Talbot.
Okay.
Henry Talbot used to be the head of the
Powerboat
Association,
Yes,
but he ran. A lot of people may not know that, but he was a
Right.
runner back in the day,
Right.
and he set the record time, and that was 10:16.
Wow.
And hasn't been broken yet. So every year it's a challenge to go out and see who's
Right.
going to break that record. Now on the latest side, we have the best time on the latest. I'm going to put my glasses back on for this
that's
one.
right.
But the best time for the latest, we've had Kyra Scradus, and her time was 12:14. Now we've actually had that time matched by Selena Tuzo. She matched it, and we've had a couple of the young female runners come close to it.
Right.
But for the male, it still stands.
Yes,
It still stands. So that's a challenge to the male runners out there this year. Go for the target. Let's see who can beat that. We're still looking forward to it.
18 years ago,
Yep.
that record
That's
still
right.
stands.
He done that in 1999.
Wow.
1999.
So
And
19 years ago,
it still stands.
still stands.
Still stands.
10-16.
10-16. That's the one to beat.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Huh?
So can you actually see this growing? Well, it all depends on how this works out. Obviously, it's getting warmer. It's getting the humidity's out there. If the adult races move forward, how much of an inconvenience or convenience would it be for you to move yours forward by whatever time, judging?
Well, there's some conversation that they will move the times around. We'll just match in whatever time they slot us in.
Right.
But the trick for us is they want us to we can't start the race until the last cyclist has crossed the finish line, or at least crossed us on Front Street where we start. And then our last runner has to be in before the first senior runner comes in. So we've got a window there. They give us a window of about 20 minutes. It's our sort of, actually there's a 25-minute window they give us.
Right.
And we've always been able to come in inside of that.
Right.
So, we'll see what the open brings. And as I said, we're looking for a surprise.
Yes.
When we used to do the invitational race, we always knew the runners.
Right.
Meaning they ran in the circle of races during the year. So the athletic club had ideas, okay, this person, that person, and we think here we are real challenges up front. And we've seen a few surprises over the years, like with Ms. Tuzo.
Right.
But as an open race, you don't know who may just pop up as that surprise this year. But we're looking forward to it.
All right. Well, we'll be looking to see who brings it home on the 25th of May.
25th of May.
Next week Friday.
Male
and female.
Male and
junior
female.
runners,
And again, it's an open event this year. So parents, your youngsters who are out there running, feel free to have them register, and you can register. The other new thing, you can register online this year. So go online, register, and we look forward to having your youngsters participate this year.
Yesterday morning, the Bermuda women's national team departed with Nikita Robinson, the national coach, talking to me about the upcoming tournament.
We're actually heading to Guyana, and yes, the expectation is always to win the group because the top team is the one that goes through to the next round. So our expectation is to win the group. Playing the host first, Guyana, which will probably be a tough competition for us. They have some talented players. We've done some scouting. We've watched some videos of all three teams. So they look the ones that are a little bit more technical. But I feel that with the group that we have selected, we can do the task that's put in front of us.
Now, you've been working with these particular girls for quite some time. You can call on them to kind of play different formations and everything. How comfortable are you that although they haven't played together for a little while, this could get back right into play?
Well, what we've done in preparation in this little window that we've had games. So we are playing around with some different formations, myself and Coach Vance, to see what's best and where we can get everyone to fit in so that the team can be as gelled as possible. Again, girls away at different colleges. Some just coming back, some won't. We will pick up on the way. So our first training session is almost going to be like our first game for us. So, it's going to have its challenges, but I don't think it's a challenge that we can step up to. I read the Guyana press conference, and they have identified that we are their toughest opponent, and that's a lot to do with what we have been doing throughout the Caribbean, and recently with the under-17s and CONCACAF. So, we have to make sure that we are up to the task and we're ready to go. So the girls have to, get in that mindset. And again, with such a short window, they are the ones that's going to have to bring it. There's only so much we're going to be able to do as coaches to get them ready, fitness-wise, not where they need to be. But, we are going to have to manage that as well. And I think technically we are the better team out of the four teams in this group. And we got a relatively easy group, so there's really no excuse. But again, it's going to be up to the players to come and to bring it and to do what it is that we are asking them to do, which is not a whole lot. And it's really to do what they know to do. And so we are seeing some of that in the games that we are playing. We had 2 practice matches so far. We'll have another practice match tomorrow, and just to have a look and see. And we're playing opposition where we should be able to attack and have to defend. So, we're getting a good look based on what it is we think we're going to face in Guyana.
Do you feel, as a coach, any added pressure? Like I said, you've had this program with these girls, and the girls that you're taking are been part of the new group kind of thing and have grown through the program. But do you feel any added pressure on you and Coach Vance to make sure we get out of this group?
There's always pressure as a coach, but no added pressure. Again, we have a really good working group right now, and our goal is obviously the 2023 World Cup qualifier. So this is the 2019 World Cup qualifier. Again, it's a stepping stone in the right direction in where we want to go. As we all know, the 17s have, they progressed to the CONCACAF level, and, we're still in that competition. So, we'll see where that goes. But as far as pressure to get out of this group, there's obviously a bit of that based on the group. And the talent that we have. And yes, we have, these girls, majority of these girls started at the U15 championship, and they played U15, 17s, 20s, and now some of them, making their debut with the women. So, I think that we are headed in the right direction. We're not quite there yet, but we are going in the right direction. So expectations and pressure, that just comes with the job. Vance and I, we talk a lot about it, and we know what's ahead of us. The great thing, and I told the under-17s this last night, is that looking forward, it looks great. Quantity and quality and quantity is how I put it, in that we're now going to have more players that are able to do what it is that we're asking them to do, or are able to compete at higher levels because of the things that we're doing with the younger ones. So, those who know me have always known that I have now shifted my focus to the base of the pyramid and looking at strengthening the teams at the bottom so that when it gets to the top, then we have a strong team and we're not in a position where we're like, oh man, this position, we're at the U17 level already where we have at least 3 deep for each position. So, at the younger level, it's even deeper. So that's the ideal behind the 7-year plan, which we are on, heading into 2023, which is started in 2016. So, that's pressure. We don't really feel pressure. We've been in this for so long. We enjoy what we do, and again, the girls are so talented. They're so talented. Just to watch, you hear people that on the side or that just go by and are like, geez, we'd rather watch the girls than the guys. And the girls, they can play. So for us, the pressure's now. The pressure is preparing them to get to Guyana. Once we get to Guyana, it's pretty much, sit off and watch the magic happen.
Lastly, a bit unfortunate, would you have liked to have some of those girls who would be turning out for the 17s in this particular team?
Well, 2 of them we have selected, and that is Jade Steed-Hill and Trinae Edwards, and it's based on position-wise, where we kind of needed some cover there, and as well as to, get them into the squad, and so when the others do turn 16, because that's obviously what held us back. If a few others were 16, they probably would have been there. And so it's now getting them into that group so that when the others come up, we're not going to reinvent the wheel. It's letting the players do the talking and showing what is expected at that level. Unfortunately, we don't have the likes of Aaliyah Nerlin and Leah Smith, 2 left-footers. Great players, would have been starters in this team. Both out due to injury. So, hopefully once we get through this round, those players will be made available to go into the next round, which will be a little tougher. So, it's a good thing because next year those players will be, eligible next year or the year after. So it's no turning back from this point.
All right. Well, good luck come Monday when you guys depart.
Yes, thank you. Our first game is on the 23rd. We play against Guyana. I believe they are an hour behind us, and I'm almost certain that game will be at 8:30 Bermuda time. Or 9 o'clock, I'm not sure. And then our next 2 games, I know for sure, are 6:30 Bermuda time. So, tune in. We'll hopefully have it Facebook Live as this round isn't televised. So we play Guyana, and then on the 23rd, then on the 25th, we will be playing against Barbados, and then we end the tournament against Suriname on the 27th.
You may have heard Digicel is bringing the only true fiber-to-the-home network to Bermuda. But what does that mean? Fiber-to-the-home is the fastest and most reliable way to access the internet. And with Digicel's fiber internet, the fiber goes all the way into your house. It doesn't just stop at the street. That means you'll get consistently fast speeds you can rely on. Think of it as a brand new internet highway that goes all the way into your home or office, and you can be one of the first to enjoy it. Visit digicelbermuda.com/fiber to register your interest in Bermuda's only true fiber-to-the-home network.
Recently, the Bermuda Olympic Association held a press conference at the National Sports Center in conjunction with the Bermuda National Athletic Association with some gifts from...
Good afternoon. We're here this afternoon to officially hand over some items to the BNAA. This has been a project between the Bermuda Olympic Association, PASO, or the Pan American Sports Organization, and the BNAA. And we'd just like to today highlight some of the items that they've received and thank them for working with us in order to assist in purchasing of this equipment on their behalf through the funding provided to us by PASO.
Well, some of the equipment that we had gotten through the PASO program is hurdles. We got 50 hurdles that came in with laptops, which is used to capture the photo finish and timing and manage the data, which gives the results. We also received a Dynalinks camera. Now this little small camera goes in front and gives us a head-on view of the athletes as they cross the line, and it isn't synchronized with the photo finish, so that you could just put your mouse on it and it will then tell you exact time and give you the picture frontal view of that runner crossing the line. And next, of course, we have the newer wing gauge, and the big advantage over this wing gauge type rather than the old one this is line powered. It's not dependent on separate AC power, so it's tied into the system. So as long as the system's up, this is connected, it'll be functioning just fine. It can also do standalone, and when it's operating standalone, it has this boxer. And standalone mode is generally used for the jumps, long jump, triple jump, and so forth. But when it's connected during races, it's electronically connected back to the Finish Links program. The other item that we did have, but hasn't been unpacked yet, is starting blocks. So we do have some starting blocks that we're going to be used for competition, and we got competitions coming up shortly, the CUT Games, international, our national championships, and so forth.
Davwa Whaley was on island visiting his father recently. We got a chance to speak with him about his Arkansas running back football career. Your first year at Arkansas was a bit of a up and down, some would say, due to the stats. But how would you sum up 2017 for you? Or 2018?
You mean my sophomore year?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was between everything that was going on with the coaches and the players and things like that. You know, it was a lot of things going on within the inside. So, you know, it kind of affected everybody. And, of course, you know, it's shown within our season. Mm-hmm. You know, we went 4-8, and then my freshman year we went 7-5. So, obviously, you know, with going 7-5, you know, everyone had a better season, even myself. Mm-hmm. So, you know, just from my sophomore year, just got to put that in the past and, you know, look towards the future and hopefully 2018, you know, be even better for me.
New coach, different style?
Oh, yeah, way different style. New coaching staff. And the new strength and conditioning staff, you know, everything they've done and everything they've did since they came in, you know, it's been a big difference. And, you know, a lot of people are starting to see the difference. And, you know, with the new style of play we're going to be doing with the new offense and new defense, you know, it's going to be even better. So
yeah, when you were in high school, you used to do a lot of track and field as well. Do you miss that?
I miss it a little bit. You know, I don't really miss the training aspect of it, but, you know, I do miss track. You know, I miss the long jump and the triple jump. Mm-hmm. You know, and those were my two best events. Right. So, you know, sometimes I think about it. You know, I do miss it.
Did you think that helped you in your football sense as far as power and strength doing long jump and triple jump?
Oh yeah, it definitely did. As far as my explosiveness and, you know, like I said, my strength and power, and, you know, just also even my speed as well. So, you know, track played a big part in it.
Yeah. So looking forward to new season. Obviously, you got summer work to do as far as on field and off field. But looking forward to the new school year and the new season. What are you hoping to touch the ball more? Obviously.
Yeah. With the new style of offense, you know, we're going to run a lot more plays because it's a fast-paced offense. So, you know, hopefully I'll be able to touch the ball more. You know, it also give a lot of other people the chance to touch the ball as well. So, you know, just like I said, better opportunities and it's a new beginning. So.
Yeah, you had a few teammates drafted into the NFL draft this year, but how tough is that?
It's pretty tough, you know. Just, you know, nowadays it's all about politics and hype. So, you know, and you know, sometimes you have to live up to it. You know, sometimes, you know, some people do, sometimes some people don't. So, you know, like I said, you just have to go in there with that mindset. You know, just doing what you can do, take one day at a time, take one play at a time, and, you know, everything will fall into place.
Coming out of high school, you were riding a wave, All-American, the All-Star games and all that. Do you feel as if you've been able to carry that on, or have you kind of plateaued there and then looking to Springboks next year?
Definitely going into college, I feel like I was able to carry it on, you know, my freshman year. Mm-hmm. You know, and then, you know, going into my sophomore year, you know, a lot of things had changed, you know, within the inside of the program. So, you know, that's why I kind of plateaued there. But, you know, this year with the new staff and everything, you know, I'm hoping to elevate and, you know, be even better and do even better.
For a young person, because you're still young as well, but you're kind of living a dream. Not many people get the opportunities you've had thus far, and will get in the future. But what advice would you give to someone starting out with a dream of being college football, maybe even the NFL?
Man, just go out there and do it. You know, if it's something you really want to do, you know, go out there and reach your goals, and, you know, don't let anybody stop you. You know, stay positive, ignore the negativity, and, you know, keep God first.
Yeah. What advice are you getting from your father here in Bermuda?
Pretty much the same thing. You know, just, you know, mainly, you know, just trying to stay healthy. You know, watch the things, you know, I put into my body. You know, things like that. You know, basically keeping the most important aspect right, and that's my body. You know, my body is my temple. So, you know, and that's where you make your money at. You know, you got to keep your body right. So, you know, just listening to him, that's important. and just him helping me, with my training and stuff like that.
How difficult is it being a student athlete and in a top school like Arkansas?
It's difficult at times, being able to having to manage the schoolwork and, the amount of training and practices and, study hall hours and things like that we have to do. It's not really much free time, but, when the little free time we do get, we try to take advantage of it. But, it's definitely pretty tough, but, like I said, man, it's a blessing. Yeah. It's a blessing.
How difficult is it to study a playbook? Because in football, there's many different plays, many different scenarios that you have to remember when players are called. Not all the time do the players work out the way they want them to, but studying a playbook, how much time do you put into that?
Man, you put a lot into it. Just like not with just studying on your own, but also with the meetings we have, position meetings we have with our coaches and stuff like that. Just 2 hours, 3 hours sometimes, and then after that, you go home and do some on your own. Right. So it takes a lot of time, and that's why I say when you ask the question about trying to balance that and all that, like I said, being a student athlete is tough. You have to do that, your schoolwork, study for exams and stuff like that, then study the playbook, meetings, like I said, and all that. So it's pretty tough, but you just have to learn how to balance your time, and that's the most important thing, and you'll be fine.
Then you started out in high school, and then things started to gradually get better for you. Did you envision what comes along with the responsibility of being a student athlete, being a role model? Did you envision that as you're now in that spot?
Yeah, I did. Kind of growing up, I had my two older sisters. Like I said, my dad, my mom. They were great examples of it. So they all kind of led me in the right way. Just being a great leader and a great person, and being able to do all the things I'm doing now. So.
All right. Well, congratulations. Good luck next season. We'll be looking out for you.
Thank you.
And we'll hopefully you can get into the NFL draft in a few years' time.
Yeah, hopefully next year.
Yeah, well,
hopefully.
If you have a Springbok season,
yeah,
it's all there. It's all there. All right, well, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Well, that's all the time we have for the Digicel Sports Show. I'm Earl Baston. Do enjoy your evening. We'll be back on Thursday with Juggling Jay in the house.